What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
Hey everyone, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for listening to the Cheers to Freedom podcast. It means the world to Levi and I that you guys would take time out of your day just to hear some of the things that we have to say. And we really hope that it's valuable to you, that it's helpful to you. And if you find it valuable, if you find it helpful, please feel free to share it with other car wash operators, managers, and leaders that you know. In this interview, I interview Zach Davis. Now, Zach Davis is the senior account manager for OptSpot, but he is also a partner at Lonestar Suds Express Wash in Lubbock, Texas, and they just opened up their first wash. And we did a go-to-market strategy for Lonestar, and we talked about the success of that in this episode of the podcast, the things that we did, exactly what Zach and his team did to make it a successful wash. They had a grand opening actually this last weekend and ended up pivoting a little bit because there was so much success leading up to their soft opening and leading up into that grand opening that they actually didn't give away a lot of the free washes that they were planning on giving at their grand opening because they were already having so much success because of the go-to-market strategy that they did. So in this episode of the Cheers to Freedom podcast, we talk about exactly what they did. We did a Facebook Live interview with Zach. So this is a little bit of a different format, but hopefully you find it valuable. If you have any questions, if you're an OptSpot customer and you want to be a part of this go-to-market strategy, if you've got a new wash that's opening up, we would love to talk to you more about implementing this into your strategy for your grand opening. Zach, because you guys recently opened up a new wash, and this is the first location for this brand, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So it's Lonestar Suds Express Car Wash, and you're one of the partners there. You're also the senior account manager for OptSpot as well. Recently come on board here within the last few months. And that's one of the things that makes this go-to-market strategy really interesting. And this is one of the things that I want us to dive into as well as we talk about this, is you had a lot going on during the opening of this wash. And so you didn't have a whole lot of time to focus just on getting this wash open. You like many of our customers and a lot of the people that are listening, there was a lot of things that they have to focus on, whether it's family, whether it's other locations, whatever it might be. It's not always just about focusing on the opening of one location. So this process had to be a process that could allow for the other things in your life to happen as well.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. But before we jump into it, just tell us real quickly, when did you guys open this location, and when did you and what were some of the results on the other end of this? And then we're going to dive into what exactly you guys did, and even talk about what you would do differently if you did it again.
Yeah, for sure. So this wash has been open since April 26th. That was our first day we washed and tested cars. Kind of used a little Facebook post saying, hey, we're testing some free cars today. Come check us out. Leading up to that date, we had been doing a ton of digital ads, direct mailer, some cross promoting with businesses, handing out free wash cards, and worked up an extensive list of Text Club members. That list was approaching 4,500 people before we ever opened the doors. In doing that, we opened up April 25th. We had a goal to get to 1,000 members as quick as possible. That was the number we wanted to get to. We hit that goal within 21 days. We're now open just under 6 weeks, and we've more than passed that goal and are well and on our way to 2,000, pretty close to it. So, yeah. For us, the utilization of the Text Club was huge. Outside of that, I still haven't even had my grand opening event. That's actually tomorrow. Or Saturday. I keep thinking today's Friday. And so this has all just been via utilizing OptSpot's text platform and social media thus far. So for us, it's been really nice to have that in our back pocket to help capture data this whole time. And for us, capturing the data early was key for sure.
So, and those of you that are listening to this live, if you have questions or anything, feel free to put those in the chat, and we'll see those and get to as many of those as we can before we finish here. But you and I had a conversation yesterday that was interesting because your grand opening is this weekend, and you guys have made some adjustments really because of the success that you've had over the last few weeks in communicating with your customers and the busyness. So if we didn't talk about this before, but if you're willing, share with us the adjustment that you're making this weekend because of that.
Yeah, leading up to this, the majority of all my accounts and even our plan was to do a day full of free washing. Up to this point, though, we've had over 2,500 free wash coupons redeemed via the text app. And so we felt like we've already kind of awarded the majority of these people a free wash. And, last Saturday, we hit a really big mile, a little over 600 cars washed. And this Saturday is going to be just equally as busy. So we hated to go ahead and issue out another free wash, and we knew we'd have the volume there. So we've pivoted to take away the free wash this Saturday, but we're also going to do a big event. Got some radio remotes out there. We're going to do a bunch of monthly pass type discounts, giveaways. I've got a Sonic next door to us. We're partnering with them, handing out $5 gift cards to lots of people. We've partnered with a snow cone stand. So we're doing lots of things to make it a fun event that's still going to have some benefit for a customer to come out there over another day to come out. I may do, those radio remotes, they go live for a couple hours, and I may say, hey, for the next 2 hours, $5 first month, any pass. And the fun part is, we use a Sonny's point of sale, so it's real easy for me to change pricing very quickly on their back end. So that's really nice. So I can kind of pivot and see how that day goes. But yeah, we actually went away from that free wash. We just felt like we'd be leaving a lot of revenue on the table because the Text Club has worked so well up until this point. We almost even purged the event itself, but we just felt like it was nice for us to, there's still some folks haven't heard about us and just wanted to have a nice fun event for our employees and just staff and do something fun. So we're still going to do it, but yeah, it was an interesting pivot, but one we kind of all agreed on as partners. So
yeah, I've been to a couple of grand openings for some of our customers, and I actually went to one with one of your OptSpot customers, and down in Fort Myers, Florida, and it was a lot of fun. So when you and I talked about yesterday, when you're talking about scrapping the whole event, I was just thinking, you do such a great job of planning these grand openings that just make it a fun event for the community and just have the food trucks. Even if you're not giving away the free washes, you create buzz for your wash, and obviously people come on your lot and have a lot of fun. But that's really amazing to me because we see in grand openings for car washes, the big thing is giving away these free washes, and some will do it for a week, some will do it for just a day. And we have a philosophy on doing that. And if you're going to do that, obviously you better exchange the free wash for a contact information, specifically a phone number, especially if you're an OptSpot customer, because if you're not following up with those customers, then that free wash is really not doing anything for them. If you don't have a way to get them back, to communicate them and get them back to the wash, even as retail customers, not just to sell them memberships, then it really is kind of a waste of a free wash. So let's talk about what you guys did leading up to opening. I know that you didn't get started on it as soon as you wanted to. Obviously, you had a business that was being acquired. Your daughter was having some surgeries, and you just had a lot of things happening. So you probably would have liked to have gotten started earlier than you did. But tell us when you got started as far as promoting it and promoting your Text Club and what you guys did exactly to do that.
Yeah. So in terms of just starting to collect data, we started that about when I wanted to. There's a lot of things I'd have done maybe a little different on a pre-sale, but as soon as we got our construction fence going and our signage up, we put a giant banner up as big as we could do for the city that said, scan the QR code, get a free $25 wash when we open. We were pretty convinced that our top wash should be $25. So we felt comfortable in putting a price on there. We always like to have a dollar value when exchanging a phone number. I love to let people know, hey, I'm giving you this number for this amount in value. So doing that was our first thing we did. And then with that, I started getting our Facebook page going. I'd have liked to have started doing ads a little earlier. And that was kind of some of that busyness that you had said, but we really started ramping up ads really October, November, which was still about 6 months before we opened. And with that, combined with the on-site signage, we had a bunch of free wash cards printed out that we were passing around to neighbors, friends, community. And then we started the digital ads. That digital ad was a very simple ad. You know, it's a smiling person. Click the link for a free $25 wash when we open. And we started collecting data. My ad spend those first few months wasn't real heavy, you know, 100, $200 a month, not too crazy. But as we got closer, I started ramping it up just to kind of start building it up a little more. Again, before we opened, we hit just right around 4,000 Text Club members, which was fantastic. I had a goal of 2,000, and so we surpassed that, which was great. The last thing we did was about 2 weeks out, we did send out a direct mailer. Direct mail's fine. You know, it's not a huge needle mover, I think, like your digital ads and whatnot, but it captured data I think I wouldn't have been able to capture outside of social. If I had to do a cost comparison on it, I was probably dollar for dollar what I spent and what I got data wise, which was fine with me. You know, it was about 600 people opted in and got it, and that's 600 numbers I may not have had if I hadn't done it. So I was okay with that trade off.
So your mailer had it had opt in to get your free wash. It didn't just say, "Hey, we're opening, come get your free wash." It was, you know, "Hey, we're opening, get your first wash free. Text, you know, your keyword to this number."
Yeah. And we did a QR on that and text. Next time I'll probably just do text QR. I found that our older demographics, they like to bring in the flyer and think they can scan the QR at the pay station, which is fine. And we handle that. But if you're on a busy day, that can just delay you a couple of minutes. So just from an operations side, I would definitely suggest going more keyword on that. Other things that we do to kind of build that text club, you know, we've done custom air fresheners here. It's hard to see with that green screen, but on the back, we have a QR code for a free wash. So we hand those out to anybody that comes through as well.
Wait, you didn't put a QR code to buy your unlimited club?
Do what? No. Just
wow.
I just wanted to come in and get a free wash.
That's the only thing I ever see on air fresheners these days. But you're actually getting people to opt into your text club with that QR code on the air freshener as well.
And there's two cool things with that, right? One is these air fresheners have a cost to me as an owner, but two, if I'm actually capturing data and it's going to drive revenue for me now, I've found a way for these air fresheners to actually make me money instead of costing me money, which is a big deal for us. You know, we're wanting to hand these out to every one of our customers as an additional perk. Our competition here is Take 5, Mister, some bigger type corporations that don't do some of those little extras. And so we want to be able to do that. But for us to continue doing it, I need to see a return on these aside from just branding and dangling from their window. And so we put that QR on there. I think just with these, I've had close to 400 or 500 opt-ins as well, which, you know, we carry a value at least about $12.50 per number. I mean, that's about $5,000 worth of data. And that's about what we're spending on these. So if I even call it a wash, that's great, because the other side of the value is the extra that my customers are getting and having that extra thing. So that's been cool for us to have too. But yeah, you know, doing that leading up to it, we didn't have to have a big grand opening event. We did a little social media saying, here's the testing. And then I did a mass text blast out. I did use MMS with us. You know, we have both those services, SMS and MMS. I felt like it was a big enough reason to put a graphic on that text, use 500 characters. Here's your free wash coupon. And that's really what drove our opening and sales up to this point. And a lot of that's kind of been word of mouth from those people coming in and doing those things. And so we use that blast. You know, another thing that was great for me and helping us drive these memberships, you know, we're in Lubbock. It was the 5th wettest May on record in Lubbock. And that's saying so. It doesn't rain here a lot. It rained almost every day in May. So I didn't have ideal conditions. I've got a lot of competition. I was even mocked by a few people. I won't say who, certain even distributors, like, why are you building another wash in Lubbock? What are you doing? I'm born and raised here. I knew there were certain pockets that weren't seen. And I also knew that the customer experience was lacking quite a bit, just kind of based on the competition. So was kind of mocked there. So this isn't like an ideal, you know, environment. I'm not the only wash game in town. I didn't have ideal conditions, and we still hit that 1,000 member mark in about 22 days. And that's thanks to building up the data, all the pre-work. You know, you asked me one thing I would do different. I'd have probably been a little more proactive with Sonny's and getting our e-commerce store set up a little earlier. So I could have done some pre-sale type stuff. This was no pre-sale whatsoever. It was from the day we started doing the soft opening free washes to kind of testing cars up until now.
Well, I want to talk about that pre-sale in just a second, because that's interesting to me. And obviously that's something that you, one of the things on the list that you would do differently. but everything leading up to the opening day was all about getting people to opt into your text club. And so you have a banner on your lot as construction was happening, creates anticipation for what's coming there. But you're also in that banner getting people to opt into your text club. You're running Facebook ads. Your Facebook ads aren't all about, hey, here's our chemicals and here's our, whatever. It's all about getting people to opt into your text club. And so everything is about getting people into that. So all the money that you're spending is really making you money because, like you said, every number that opts in, that's worth $12.50. So with the pre-sales, if you would have done pre-sales, how would you have done it? What would you have done in that?
I'd have probably made it more like a founders club and done some kind of limited time offer, like the first 500 people or 1,000 people are going to get this deal, and done something like that with a sense of urgency. I did something that wasn't quite that, but similar with the weather that we had. Just day after day, rain after rain, car counts weren't good. And I was like, man, this isn't fun. We're losing momentum here. And I said, well, what am I doing? I've got a list of almost 5,000 people at this point. Let's do a 72-hour flash sale via e-commerce. So I dialed up a $1 first month. I did it text only. I didn't do it on social media. I just want to see the power of the text. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a guinea pig thing for Levi as well, just to kind of show him, hey, look, our list is very powerful. Shot out a blast. Again, MMS, put a graphic with it. I did a YouTube video that I linked to talking about this is a one-time sell. I'm not going to do this ever again. And shot that out. And that led to 444 past sales in 72 hours.
Wow.
And that was 72 hours. Normally we might have done 20 because we were shut down with weather. So it was nice to have that list to be able to fight back when Mother Nature is kind of just punching you in the face over and over. I know we've got a lot of washes in Florida that deal with that, and Texas has been really wet right now, but it's fun to be able to fight back on those some days. We'll look at churn at that. That's always the first question. Like, what's your churn on it? What's it look like? And I'm like, at this point, I just know for a fact I never would have come close to even selling 50 plans or 100. So even if my churn was 50%, yeah, even if I keep 50%, which I think would be significantly higher, we're doing a great job. I still netted 220 plans there when I would have done nothing. And right. So that was huge for us. And that was all e-commerce. So that I didn't do that on site. I didn't do it on Facebook or anything. It was all e-commerce links via the text. And so that's where, you can definitely utilize the power of your e-commerce if you do it correctly. But I would absolutely do it more like a founders club, a limited time offer. One thing I found with that 72-hour sale, I did a last chance text for 6 hours remaining on the sale. And those last 6 hours, we moved about 112 passes just in those 6 hours. So we've got a few other customers testing that right now. I think I had one the other day that did a last chance, and he was doing $5 first month. I think he said he moved around 35 or 6 in a couple hours, and he still had a few hours to go. So, So there's some ways out there you can utilize this, and in that sense of urgency kind of makes people think like, I am going to miss this, and stick to your guns on your deadlines. If you have sales, stick to them, make them go away, make people think they will miss it if they don't do it. So next time it does come up, they act a little more. I see a lot of customers that do $10 first month and it goes well, and it extends to the second month, and then the third month, and the fourth month, and all of a sudden it's your normal pricing and it's not special anymore. So,
I've had 2 conversations this week about that. And because it's interesting that you say that. I love that you ran it for 72 hours because that is a very short window, which is a great idea. Like you said, people will run it for a month and then they'll run it for the next month. And then your customers begin to realize, well, I can just sign up for it next month. If I don't want to do it this month, there's no sense of urgency. And so I had a conversation with a customer yesterday who is wanting to do email marketing with us. And so, I was getting her emails and everything set up, and we were talking through the campaign that they're going to do. And they're going to run it, the $9.99 first month special, but they're going to run it where you can sign up until August 13th, beginning next week. So that's 10 weeks. And so what I told her was, in the future, I would probably decrease that down just to no more than a month, and a month may be too much. But for the first 8 weeks, we're not going to talk about when this deadline ends. We're just going to say for a limited time only, you can sign up now. Because people are, if they're, we did our Freedom Summit last year and we're doing it again this year. But people like to wait till the last minute to sign up. And that's even what had happened. Levi and I are getting down to like the last month and a half to the summit coming up, and we weren't full. And this was the first time we were going to do this summit. And so we're like, well, maybe, maybe people aren't going to sign up. Well, almost 50% of our registrations happen within the last couple of weeks of the summit last year. Now that's going to be different this year because we have some social credibility to go with the summit. But last year, people waited until the last minute to do anything. And that's what it's going to be like with signing up for your unlimited club. If there's no sense of urgency, people are going to wait, and they may never get around to doing it. And so you want to be able to make online sales super easy, so that you can capitalize on those impulse buys and get people to sign up. So the Founders Club, was something that you had mentioned. Levi posted here in the comments as well. Let's dive a little bit deeper on the Founders Club, because we've been running these for several of our customers now, and we have several active right now. What would you have done with the Founders Club, and how is that working with some of the other customers that we've run this for?
Yeah. So again, it starts out like, you get the text, we get them in a go-to-market campaigns, which we call it OptSpot. It's a separate campaign. And these campaigns are all about trying to convert memberships early and quick. And so we have specific drip messaging set up for these people, and it's strategic in how we do it. Everything we want to do, like you said, is tied with a sense of urgency. Founders Club, we like to say 500 or 1,000. You can sell more than 500 or 1,000 plans. That's okay, as long as the consumer realizes, hey, this is going away. I may not get this. And we kind of invite them to do that. And Founders Club can be multiple things. It could be a cheap first month. Maybe it's locking in the top plan price for a $5 discount for life. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that. So that's kind of where we work with our customers to see where their risk tolerance is on some of that. I kind of played around with both those ideas with me, kind of going more a long-term deal or shorter, just with the dynamic and atmosphere we were at. A lot of people weren't happy with the other washes. I felt like we didn't need to lock somebody into a long-term discount for life, especially with inflation and stuff. It's kind of difficult there, but that's a unique way to do it. But yeah, we were doing that as well. And again, we have people doing that with signage. We've got a couple go-to-market campaigns right now where people are doing, penny for the first 2-3 months, and it's only going to last till this day. And again, our biggest deal is communicating with the text, work in the club. You help us write dynamic messaging, and our copywriters do too, that they create that sense of urgency. We give them that irresistible offer that makes them think, man, if I don't hop in this, I could be losing 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks here by not doing it. And we just start continuing to work that list. And then you do that last little blast of sense of urgency. And then you can get into these other things you've always seen, the free wash days, the other stuff, capturing the data. Those are still great things to do, but those don't need to be your sole thing that you're doing. We found that people that just do that, yeah, you've got a big weekend. If you didn't capture data, that momentum starts to run out after a couple of weeks. But if we can capture that data on the forefront and continue marketing to them, I mean, I still have a list. It's funny, you like seeing your marketing list grow. I'm to the point now where I want to see it reduced, because I want people to be moving from marketing to retention. Right. And doing that. And so my goal now is start working that list even more to convert them to members. Like I've got a list of over 6,000 people. That's a massive list for one location. And so just working that is huge. It allows me to do less on traditional media that I thought I was going to have to do. It's saving me a lot of money there. But those go-to-markets and those Founders Clubs, you brand it, you put it on social media, you put it on your website, you kind of just have it everywhere, knowing this is a Founders Club. It kind of gives people a little sense of pride. Like I was a founding member. I had a buddy that bugged me from day one when we built. He's like, I want to be your first pass member. I want to be number one. And you can still kind of have that sense of pride for the top 100. Yeah. And he got it. And then after his first month, his card declined. And I was like, what the heck? His name's James. I'll say his name. I was like, it declined. I was like, you're no longer number one. So, but that was funny. But yeah, you can do a multitude of things there, but really, if you brand it well and make people feel like it's cool, you could even do like, these first 500, well, maybe they do get an air freshener. Maybe they always get, like, you have a towel service. Maybe they get a free towel for life. Just little extras that maybe get that give them a little more entitlement for being that founding club member, aside from a price break. We try to discuss those with our accounts and come up with unique ways to make that stand out, as opposed to just a normal member. Well,
it's a great way to add value to it, and it's not that big of a deal. Levi and I heard a guy talk last year, and he used two great examples of this, because you don't have to do something really expensive. You don't have to be crazy with the offers that you give. For a lot of us, we remember Sports Illustrated, and one Christmas they were trying to sell subscriptions to Sports Illustrated. But what the whole commercial was about was the football phone that they were going to give with the subscription.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's this $12 football phone that you would get with the subscription. And so, you know, that is a premium that you can add to that. The other one, he says, he used a great example of one of the greatest premiums of all is when you go to ask your wife to marry you, what do you give her? You know, you give her this ring. That's a premium, because what she's getting on the other end is the guy, you know, sleeping in the couch in front of the football game. But the premium, what she might be saying yes to is that ring. Right. What we're saying yes to with the Sports Illustrated subscription was the football phone. And, you know, and so what people might be saying yes to with your, you know, unlimited wash subscription is that free towel and that air freshener, or free air freshener every month, or something like that you can do. And so add those premiums in. Real quickly, you said that you sent out a text blast for a 72-hour flash sale, and you got 400 and something members from that. Do you recall how many people were on your marketing list when you sent that out, roughly?
That went out to, it was the mid 4,000 range. It was about a 10% close rate on that. It was about 10% capture. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, really good. I mean, that really is excellent. We're running a sale with one of our customers, and we're doing this via text. We're doing this via email. And even with just the email, we've sent it out to about 8,000 people. And I think there was about, you know, less than 300 people that responded to that. And to me, it just shows me the value of text message marketing and getting people into your list. So if you're listening to this and you're not an OptSpot customer, there is an actual strategy to everything that we do. And the strategy is really growing that list, but not just growing it with a bunch of phone numbers, growing it with people who are ready to buy from you, that want to do business with you. They want to hear from you, and they're going to spend some money with you. Those are quality leads, and you're finding those through Facebook. You're getting people to opt in on your Facebook ads. You're not just throwing random ads out there for awareness. You're getting people to opt in on your on-site signage. And Sam, I see your question there, and I don't know, Zach, if you have the image of your banner that you had on your site. If you do, send that over to me and I'll show that. If not, I think
I emailed it to you earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Let me look at it really quickly. If not, we'll put that in post and show those. Actually, here it is right here. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to show this awkwardly, Sam. But here is the banner. I'm going to walk up to my camera and see if I can get this to show real quick.
Hang on. I think I can share my. Will it let me share my screen?
Yeah, probably. If not, I can fix that real quick. Yeah, there it is. So, Sam, you see that?
So the only thing, so this is my first proof. I was trying to find this before this call. The only thing I did change is I get a free. I had $25 right here, so that's the only difference that you're not seeing here that I did do. I put the dollar value there, but this was the actual layout for it, and I think it would end up being 6 feet by like 30, or is big. And we stuck it on our construction fence. We happen to be next door to a Sonic, and so we face it towards the Sonic. So anybody over there getting a drink, happy hour over there just crushes. And so anybody over there, they'd scan. And you know, it led to not a lot, but I mean, 400 or 500 phone numbers just by putting a banner up on a fence that I never would have had is huge. I almost got the same amount spending several $1,000s as a direct mail piece. So, you know, it had its place, and every little thing may not knock it out of the park, but again, you're still capturing data, you're still adding things to it. And so, yeah, this was the banner we used. It's currently up. We've got a second site going up now. That banner's up, and it's already generating leads over there as well. So, yeah, that's what that looked like.
And you know, everything helps as far as long as you're doing the right things. You're getting your name out in front of people, but it's not just awareness. It's getting people to take action. And whether you're doing it on Facebook, whether you're doing it through your banners, whether you're doing it through text message marketing, or grocery store receipts, or whatever it is, people are seeing your name out there. And a lot of times people have to see things 7 to 9 times before they finally take an action. And so they saw that banner, and then maybe they saw a Facebook ad, and then, you know, they saw something else. Maybe they got that direct mail piece and finally decided to take action. But everything, you know, it puts your name out in front of them, but everything that you're putting in front of them has an action for them to take, and it's an action that makes you money. And that's what it's all about. So as we end here, Zach, one of the reasons we wanted to talk about this is because you were a prime example of what our go-to-market strategy can do. And we actually have this now. We've just launched a new product, our go-to-market strategy. And so if you're opening a new location, you can talk to Zach or your account rep if you're an OptSpot customer, and we can create a go-to-market strategy. I think there's 6 phases in it, starting out at like 6 months before opening or something like that. But if you're already past that, and if you're less than 6 months out, let's get started today. Like, call us today. We can still work this campaign and still make money for you and be super successful for you. But if you've got a new wash that's going to be opening up in the next year, or you're planning on it, talk to Zach or your account rep, and let's get this go-to-market strategy going. And it includes the social media ads. It includes the direct mail pieces. It includes all the SMS writing, the copywriting, everything that comes along with it. We basically take care of it for you, because like Zach did when he was opening up his wash, there's a lot of other things happening in your life that are doing it. And so if you want to talk more about this go-to-market strategy, go ahead.
And real quick, one thing I was going to say that I need to bring up is some of these people may not be a site owner yet, and you're still trying to figure out, where your pressure points are in your tunnel. One thing that I loved as well is I had all these people in this list, and I sent out this coupon. Well, our internal review system sends them a text 10 minutes after they go through. And so I had 2,500 coupons redeemed. I got 1,000 responses on that internal review system. And I immediately was able to identify maybe some shortcomings in our tunnels, maybe which staff was stronger than others. And that was invaluable to me because it helped us dial in our stuff very quickly. Mm-hmm. Not only that, we're only a month old. We've got over 60 Google reviews, and we're carrying a 4.9. It's 62 5 stars and the one inevitable 1 star that we all get to deal with. But
that was that guy who's
I've surrounded that. Yeah, I think it was Josh. No, he's just messing with me. But it's invaluable to have, that guy now looks like an idiot because he's surrounded by 63 5 stars and he's the 1 star, and it gives us a lot more validity. But so we've already got an amazing reputation built up thanks to the OptSpot review system. I got amazing feedback. Like I knew immediately that we were missing on some bug prep, and our tire shine was a little too strong. It was making wheels dirty, and it's stuff that I can't always be there, and you might not always be able to be at your location. So for me, that information was invaluable too. And so I just wanted to bring that up, and something that I really loved on one of our products that we don't touch on too much. It was great to get those paper forms, and in us, we're a 1-site location. If we get a 4-star less, we're physically calling every person that gives us a 4-star less, and we're calling them, inviting them back. I'm sending them another wash. Mm-hmm. And we're just being overly hospitable to these people and letting them know we're going to make sure you have a clean car. And it's blowing people away because they're coming from bigger brands. I don't want to drop names here. I don't like to talk bad about anybody, but bigger brands, they just can't do that. They have too many washes. They have thousands of washes, 500. They can't do it. And so we can do those things.
They don't have and it's a whole different business model. And I think that's interesting too, because that was a key part of your success in the beginning too, of those OptSpot reviews, because you don't want people to judge you based on your first week open, because you're still working out the bugs. It's like a restaurant. When you go to a restaurant, the first week they open, the kitchen is slow. Everything is just bad. And you don't want your online reviews to be based off of that experience, because it's going to be better. But you can use those OptSpot reviews when they get that text 10 minutes later and say, hey, how did we do? They're sending that to you rather than sending it to Google. And if they give you a 5-star, then we're gonna make sure that they know how to get to Google and put it up there. But if they give you a 1-star, that feedback is going to go back to you so that you know what to adjust, and you can take care of it, make that customer happy by sending them another free wash to give you another chance, whatever it might be. And that bad review doesn't end up online. So the first week you were open, you had tons of 5-star reviews because of that. And so that's super helpful.
And we had some 1s and 2s, but those 1s and 2s were internal, and we got to fix them and make it right before they went public. So, I mean, you look all over Facebook, Google, anywhere, our reputation is unreal. And I'll even say that we still have some stuff to work on, and we're getting better each day. By no means are we the best wash out there. We're pretty dang good, but we're able to have a perceived public notion that we're the best in Lubbock already, because we've been able to work on these things and filter out some of the bad and take care of it before they ever go publicly. I mean, one of our best reviews was a 3-star, and we sent them a rewash. And then our staff that was towel dry noticed and sent them back around. Just little things like they're doing everything they can to make me happy. And I like that almost more than just getting a basic 5-star. I want people to know that
people want
we
to feel
take
special.
care of them.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing I just didn't get to bring up. It was amazing to get that much feedback instantly from customers and it not have to be public and have to fight it and battle it. And so that was huge for us. I did want to drop that. And then lastly, obviously my website was a lead generator as well. Instead of monthly plans, free car wash, like you said, when you marry somebody, you hand them a ring. I feel like monthly plans on websites immediately are asking like the lady to marry them
before they even had a chance
before
to
even
date
took
you.
them on a date. Yeah. Take them on a date, let them try you out, give them the free wash. Don't be afraid. And so that's what we want them to try you out. And once they like you, we've had so many people come back from that free wash and convert to a member. It's been great. So,
yeah. Well, excellent, Zach. I'm excited about the success you guys have had. I'm excited about the success we're seeing with the go-to-market strategies that we're already running for our customers, and definitely getting them a return on the investment that they're putting in on that. We're going to dive more into this at the OptSpot Freedom Summit, and I'm going to post a link in there. It is filling up. We're almost halfway full for the OptSpot Freedom Summit. It's happening October 25th through 27th in my new backyard, Sandestin, Florida, and Levi's backyard. And so if you are interested in that, it's for OptSpot customers only, because we're not going to be doing a whole bunch of selling there. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of strategy. This is not about selling you a bunch of products. It's about diving deeper into the products that we already have, helping you use those better, and also use things that are outside of our products to get more success. So if you're interested in the OptSpot Freedom Summit, I just posted the link in the chat. I would sign up sooner than later, because it is filling up and it's going to fill up. We're still kind of early on in the process, but the closer it gets, the more it's going to fill up. But it's a great time, Zach. You'll be there. Our whole team will be there, which is really exciting. So if you've wanted to meet some of the behind the scenes people with OptSpot who are the real magic makers, you'll get to meet Trayton and Drew and Tanner and Austin and all those guys. Well, Austin is an account manager now, so a lot of our guys know him. But you get to see all the stuff happening behind the scenes to get the success of our customers. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next time. See you on the flip side. Thanks, Zach.
See you guys. Thanks, Josh.